flag up there in a moment because the Eagle has landed on the Premiers in 2018.
Jumping in the middle and we're going to jog off. Right, so into training, go out, 10 minutes, come back in, we'll get off. Enjoy, boys. Well done.
All right. Go on, mate.
And what's your feeling like, Nick, this week? Thinking back to the open training session when you had 40,000 there, this week in particular, and you know they're there. Like, is there any different feeling from what it was when you did your knee, or is it all just hitting home now that you are actually not going to be a part of it?
No, I thought I was pretty upset and pretty sad once I did my knee, but I think it's probably more of a reality now. It's probably hit home a bit harder knowing that the boys will partake in the grand final, so yeah, at least I've got an active role on the bench, helping the rucks out, so I guess my mind will be, I wouldn't say at ease, but it'll be occupied looking at vision and talking to guys on the bench rather than just sitting in the stands and dwelling on what I'm missing out on. These are always the fun sessions, the ones leading into finals, prelims and a grand final. It's always fun times and everyone's happy on the track.
Yeah, well, I remember main training, grand final week, we didn't have Kennedy, Darling and McGovern training in the main session, which is a bit of a concern. I think Kennedy and Darling were going to be okay, but McGovern had internal bleeding and he couldn't do anything until that settled. So I think you remember him saying, I was running around and I felt like things were squelching inside of him and it was the blood still curdling a little bit.
Let's have a look again. You can just see, is that maybe hip, ribs? Either way, he's sore.
Might be all of the above as well.
Yeah, there's no way we put him at a risk of getting more damage there, but they had to settle before we were a chance of selecting.
Yeah. Should be excited.
Yes.
For WA, hopefully.
Yes.
That start, you guys, the way you started the other day, just started like that again and you can't be beat.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Exact same game.
Different venue.
Yeah.
I was out there, I took my boys to that game.
Yeah,
we loved
it was nice and loud, wasn't it?
I don't need recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great. Recognition. I'm on a mission. I'm paying dues. I'm in position. I'm staying up. It's getting late. You're doing good. I'm doing great.
I told her she'd get an ice cream.
We'll start with West Coast. And Eagles star defender Jeremy McGovern remains in doubt for tomorrow. He was late to the parade this afternoon, so much so officials took the sticker off the car he was meant to be in and then put it back on.
Oh, did they? No, you nearly didn't, but I got you. So I'm here now.
So we need to flip now into footy mode. All right, let's flip into what's real. So we need to get, we're not always ridiculously serious, but we need to be really concentrated in the next 10 minutes. Okay. So, who thought in Sydney Grand Final week talking about man of the mark has a big success indicator? Well, I'm pretty sure that was an under-14s conversation. As a player, you think, I hope I get a kick, and you think I might win the Norm Smith. You think how good it would be to win one. You think about results a lot. You don't think about process. So you'll watch your triggers about how you want to start the game, but don't stress if it doesn't start the way you want it to start. Right? From memory, you just want to get touched. I don't want to have donuts in the granny. That's what you're thinking? Who's thinking that? You're not thinking that, Joe? Mids up. All right, so just get your start right mentally and then let it go. All right. Go then. We had the captain's run at the MCG and it was a fitness test. I wasn't really interested because I knew he was just going to play. So it didn't worry me what the fitness test was because Gov said, I'm playing. And I said, no worries. And then, you know, there was no way he wasn't going to play. And he did a couple of things in the bag and, you know, as long as he wasn't at a serious threat of death, he was going to play, and he was going to play very sore.
A massive weekend, and I reckon if you predicted these two teams to play in the grand final, you've got no idea about footy. I tell you what, they're both here, and they deserve to be here.
They've got to get themselves into the game, right? And that's one of the things he'll be sort of saying. Hey, last week, we had this game in control early, but the last time we come to a grand final, and he won't talk about the grand final, but the last time they come to a grand final, they were 5 goals to 1 down at quarter time, and they were 9 goals to 3 down by half time. So they've got to just be in the match. I think the longer that the game is alive, the more self-belief, even away from home, will be in the West Coast lineup.
Who wins and why?
Collingwood for the first time this year. I'm going to say I think Collingwood are going to win this grand final. I just think what I saw on Friday night, no team can handle that sort of pressure.
I tipped Collingwood to beat West Coast in the qualifying final over there, so I've got to double down on it and stick with Collingwood.
I'm tipping the Pies in what is, I think, an absolute classic grand final. As you said, we both didn't think they'd both get there, but now that they're there, I just think that they deserve to be, and this is it's a toss of the coin.
You know what today reminds me of? The story could go anywhere. You know when you're 14, under 14s, under 13s, and you're playing in a granny? Most of you guys would have done something like that back in the day. It feels exactly the same as that, right? There might be a few more people out there than Essendon Grammar, Venice, but it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling where you've got that bond with your mates at school. Same feeling where the night before the game, mum's giving you advice. Right, you have an extra banana in the morning. We've all been there. It's the same feeling. The beauty about us is our destiny is around the room. Right? Our sense of spirit and mateship and where we're at, we're not going to be defined by today. Right? The definition of what we are now is written up on that board. Just think about your role, your line, and your team. And above all, let's think about the brotherhood. Embrace each other, right? We've accepted the week, we now embrace the game. Let's go, boys. Match day.
Shannon Hoon got the look of a big-time captain, do you, Duck?
Oh, he does. As I said, I just love that look, Lingy, the captain leader. You've done it. Hearn gets an opportunity to do it, and he's been a wonderful leader this year, all-Australian.
And it's a special moment for the captain. You know that your team is looking at you. They feel it, they sense it. Shannon Hoon won't be stressed. Wonderful captain.
So much depends on that man there today. Only once in his last 90 games has he not kicked a goal.
times when it seemed impossible. But every knock, every bump, and every time we hit rock bottom, we had to get back up and take it on again and again. No matter the challenge, no matter the obstacle, we're ready to take it on.
Successful one, a 7th grand final, looking for a 4th premiership. A big club like Collingwood on and off the field.
Thanks, mate. Well, all starts now, doesn't it? So here we go. Oh, we won the toss.
That's something.
To start.
So let's go down to Matthew Richardson and Daisy Pearce for the first time today. Richo.
Thanks, Bruce. Well, as you can imagine, it is an absolutely phenomenal atmosphere down here at ground level. I'll tell you what, Daisy, we've been looking around and there is a lot of West Coast Eagles supporters. They've travelled over here from Perth in great number and they're making plenty of noise.
Absolutely. I mean, Collingwood-centric, as you'd expect here in Melbourne, but they're not alone because there's at least, I don't know, 20,000, I reckon, West Coast supporters, and they got over the top of the Collingwood boos as West Coast ran out. So plenty of fans here and vocal ones. The Collingwood chant's going already.
It's gone around the ground already, the Collingwood chant. I'll tell you what, guys, conditions are pretty much perfect down here for football as well. Hardly any breeze, a little bit of cloud cover. Perfect day for a sensational grand final.
Thanks to that, Richo and Days. And Richo used the word perfect there. Might be perfect conditions, perfect day. But don't expect perfection early from these players. It is going to be such a hot footy, so much pressure, so much expectation. There'll be lots of fumbles. There'll be lots of mistakes. But whichever team can get over and support and help when those fumbles and those mistakes happen, they'll get on top early on in this game and then settle their teammates down.
Interesting vision there with the captain of Collingwood, Pendlebury. We've seen a lot of laughter before games, Lingy. There was no laughter there. A very serious skipper giving a very serious message.
All right, we're ready to go here at the G. Capacity, 2018 grand final. West Coast and Collingwood.
All right, good luck, boys. Coach well.
For supremacy in 2018.
Feeds it back to Travis Marco. Holds it breath for Maggie. Stevenson's left foot kick is coming back like a champ. Oh, what a goal.
Tried the kick to De Goey. It was touched on the way through. De Goey shoots one down. Rushed away the second and kicked the goal. Look out. The Pies are white hot.
Boys, we're in a bit of strife here, but we don't want to concede another one.
Quickly becoming West Coast's worst possible nightmare.
I don't think we're playing that bad. Yeah, I thought at the time Collingwood made the most of their opportunities. A couple of fumbles here and there by us, a couple of missed opportunities at the other end. I think Kennedy and Venables ran into each other. JK missed the first shot. So we had a couple of missed opportunities, and every time we went up the other end, they scored. So we put an extra behind the play to try and settle things down, and Collingwood immediately equalised that. So they didn't want a spare in our back half. It did stifle the momentum a little bit, and then we got that first goal with Rioli at the back, which sort of settled things straight away.
And in the end, it goes to Kennedy, but a lot of troops had arrived by the time that got it in there. Langman tries to rush it. Was it off the boot?
I think he got a boot to that.
I think he did too.
And then out of the next bounce, JK converted. So that, I remember talking at quarter time, how are we going, boys? You know, there's only a couple of goals in this.
Here we go, boys, here we go. Okay, listen up. Story of the quarter. We actually broke even in every area. All right, they just made the most of their opportunities, boys. When they went quick, as we said, they look pretty dangerous on the deep entry, and it comes down to the Bulls. Boys, it's 2 goals the difference, boys. Nothing in this. The game's back on our terms. Let's go.
They've all gone, yeah, no, we're fine. No, we've been here before. So it wasn't as dire as perhaps what people were thinking. So at quarter time, and the 2 goals were very important. I think Collingwood had an opportunity to kick another one before we kicked our first, and that would have made it real difficult. And if they had gone through, we might have been telling a different story.
So the second quarter commences.
Fire setting up Maynard. Caught one right in the guts from Ryan. He's down Maynard.
Almost the rest of the game become that. Really, goals were hard to come by. Momentum was hard to hold. Field position was hard to keep. So everything became just contest after contest after contest. So it was a really good quarter to watch, I'm sure.
Did something with it. Here comes Cox, but getting in front bravely, Duggan.
To go in front, well done Schofield, but over the back, Thomas was lurking. Jetty did well.
Vardy came off the interchange. They didn't know he was there. Main under real pressure. Sheed able to bang it on the boot. West Coast, look at this. It's 3-on-1. Kick to LaPar. He plays on with a handball. And Hutchins will kick the goal. And the roof is lifted off the G.
They tagged Yowie with Greenwood, who's a very good player.
I was coming off the bench and I thought, here we go again, this is 2015 all over. And as I'm running, I got to the wing and just to the edge of the square, Greenwood's popped his head in and just went, it's just like 2015 again. And I went, oh no, this bloke's gone the early crow, which you never do.
Probably allowed Luke to play the way he normally plays.
I do feel like after conceding the first 5, the Eagles are coming back into the game. Shuey!
And once he got going, he was hard to stop. So they flipped the roles. They freed up Yowie in the second half, so Yowie got more of a look himself. But I think the damage was done with Luke in that first 2.5 quarters.
Time ticks away. Rioli gets involved. Half time in the grand final.
We are so close to going over the top. It might take to the last 5 minutes like last time. Have a look at this stuff that's all here. Right, nothing changes from what I spoke about pre-game. All this stuff here that you've done, all this stuff you've done here, and who we represent, comes back now to a half a footy. Okay, let's get this going and get into this mode, because our unicorn moment is not far away. Let's go, come on, let's go. All right, how bad is it, honestly?
Yeah, I think I'll stay my cuff again, but what do you want me to do? Just I can play it out.
Yeah, we're going to give you 2 rotations, all right? If you're no good, you need to tell us.
Stuff that I'm letting you know now.
Mate, keep fighting. We'll rotate you twice. You might have to play a slower game if Jets goes out. Yeah, no, he's got a torn cuff.
Having quite a normal conversation at such a strange time. Handball from Redden. Sets the Eagles an opportunity with Kennedy, and just like it did in the first quarter, he's marked this to get West Coast within a goal. They have kicked 4 of the last 5.
This is a big kick.
Directly in front, a 45-metre kick, and it's close, tight, coming back, got it. Eagles within a goal. Good run and jump at it here, Kennedy, big back.
Shouldn't you get one of these little babies?
Down, Main under real pressure, Rioli, spin, grips, goal. Superb from the Eagles, Rioli.
That's what we need. We need to get one of those little babies. Look, I think for his form line throughout the season, he didn't contribute in the first half, but I didn't say anything to him. I think Jamie Graham, I might have mentioned to Jamie Graham, who's the forward line coach, that you might want to remind Jack how good a player he is.
Kennedy front spot, Langdon, Darling really getting a taste of it now.
He's got a chance to look at the goal and didn't quite nail the kick, but it falls short. And Darling, who's having a good quarter. The Eagles are once again within a goal.
We need our good players to play well, so he's one of our best players. So it complements each other with everything we do. So I thought our aerial work in the back half of the game was pretty good. I think McGovern and Barras and then Darling and Kennedy, I think they contributed pretty well.
Gets it outside the defensive 50, and McGovern takes a colossal mark. They owning the air at the moment, aren't they?
79 marks now for West Coast. Richo called it. 90 marks is the magic number. They're going to blow that out of the water.
Hutchings to side bottom, guys, and down the other end, Schofield has the big job on Degoe.
Scoey's ability to play in the last line was remarkable, and no one really wants to be there. I don't think when you're a young player coming through, you want to be on the last line grand final day. But he saved so many goals, and we dropped him going into the final series, and he saw the writing on the wall with the team's balance, and he would have thought that might have been it for him. It was a really difficult conversation because there wasn't much between him and the rest of the defenders, and he would have seen it as an opportunity lost. So to come back and then to do what he did on grand final day, it was just a massive achievement.
Looking for side bottom over the top. He and Schofield go at it. Well done, Schofield again. He was under enormous pressure from one of the best players in the competition, and he has held strong.
De Goey's one of those players who can break a game open in 10 minutes. So Scully playing on the last line is probably something he hadn't done as much of recently. He was more of a key position player. So to do what he did, he prepped really well. He was ready to go, and nothing was going to stop him. So when he's in that form, he can be very hard to stop.
Adams, the runner got in the road. Whose runner was it? Got to check whose runner that is, but Collingwood, okay.
Luke said at half-time to me before we went out, he said, "Yo, you'll get your moment. It's just a matter of time, and when you do, just seize it and, enjoy it." And I guess, when I took that mark on the 50-metre line pretty much, I actually looked down and I thought, is this bloke kicking it to me? I don't have a Collingwood jumper on, what's going on here? And it must have just sort of clipped the inside of his boot or something like that. And as I went back, Shuey just popped his head in and just, gave me the old, this is your moment, Yoey. So I sort of had a little giggle, and just went back, and that probably, gave a little bit of a relief and have a little bit of a laugh about it. But went back and just thought about, the process that you go through when you have your goal kicking, and all I wanted to do was just try and hit it as sweet as I could on the boot, and just really glad that, I hit it smack bang in the middle.
To put West Coast in front for the first time since the early stages of the opening term. It's going home. They are. They've hit the front in the third quarter. All square. 1937 revisited.
How tense will this be? Scores are level. It is all to play for.
Come in, boys. Here comes down to this, and all I can think of is head, heart, and gut. Let's get this done, boys. Let's go.
Scores are level at three-quarter time for only the second time.
De Goey launches from 50. Collingwood have got a two-goal lead.
I think we started 3 talls on the last quarter. Langdon was having a real impact as the third man up in the back half, so we tried to make him accountable by playing Vardy more minutes in the last quarter. I think he took a mark early and kicked the goal, which helped the situation.
To fall forward, Vardy!
Most important kick of his life.
Can he kick the goal? It's holding the line. He does. Back to one kick. Gives it to Ryan, and then Ryan's little kick is a good one to Kennedy, yes! He's kicked 2, he's kicked 3, he's got 3, what a game of footy!
Someone said to me it was 5 or 6 possessions and 3 goals kicked in the start of the last quarter. So the quarter there was no goals for 2.5 quarters, and then only 4 goals kicked in the first 5 minutes. So that was almost it though, it dried up a fair bit after that.
Just the footy here, it's a short ball, Darling. Chris Mayne, good defensive mark. It's been good, Mayne.
Yeah, you're looking at switching it. Send a message, please. Send a message. Be aware of the switch.
He's got Stevenson running outside. Went over the top to De Goey. McGovern slaughtered the ball in the air. It's nearly all over. It's a 2-point game. Adams had a shot. What a smother that was from Marston.
I don't even know if Jets meant to smother that ball. I think he just got a kick in the guts with the footy.
I reckon it was online. Another one on De Goey. West Coast fighting for survival. They know. Little Hamble out to Grundy. There, Kennedy's tackled. Over they go. So is Stevenson. Look at this hot ball. Anyone's game. Anyone's ball. West Coast.
There was a mark that could have been paid to Collingwood. There ended up being a ball up. There's Barras touched a ball that was a long shot that it was a fingertip or it would have been a goal. So a fair bit of luck played its part in that little period of play where we could have easily conceded a goal.
Howe looking for Cox!
If he kicks this goal, we're going to have to kick 2 goals to win.
Ryan.
Ryan and Venables.
Oh, if he kicks this goal, we need our best. We're going to have to kick 2 goals in 5 minutes, mate. Let's just get our best players on the ground, please.
We're going to go back to our starting lineup.
Quite often you're trying to think 2 goals ahead, so we needed a goal to get in front, but and there's nothing we could have done in the coach's box to help that at that stage. So we started to consider, if they kick a goal here, because they look like they were going to score, we need to go into some sort of mode to score as quick as we can and take complete risk.
Gee, there's just one goal left here today. Next goal wins. It's the old one in the back of the yard with your brother. Next goal wins the game.
That's what started to trickle into the players' mindset. We need to score here. I was about to call a move to help that, but they were probably starting to do that already.
Talor provides the run, kicks inside 50. McGovern, what a player!
What a mark, Bruce, what a mark, and he goes to Vardy straight away. They need to keep going quickly. 2:29 remaining. Ryan with a big mark. Flying Ryan, what about that? He plays on. Ball to Sheeds, too long. Maynard can't get there. Sheed, did he play on? Did he take a step?
We kick this, we want to get set. Send a message, there's 2 minutes to go. I was honestly talking about, if he kicks this, what are we doing? And if he misses it, what are we doing? So we weren't watching in that sense. It was more, I was looking for the result, not the moment.
Free kick one. What do you want, Simo?
Massive. Sheed from the boundary. Needs to be inch perfect. He is. He's got the most impossible goal.
When he kicked it, we went straight into a different mode of defence, and for those risks that Scully was taking or Gov was taking, we completely flipped to security and who can we get to help shore up our defence. The players went into it automatically. When Dom kicked that goal, they went into a system that we were yelling at to do, but they'd already done it. So a lot of what we've been doing all year.
Fun's on.
They should know, mate.
Just go over the boys.
Go over the boys.
Go over the boys.
It's one of the great grand finals and one of the great victories. Collingwood out of that centre, bouncing ball.
If he had to smother that, I reckon he would have had 8 seconds to score, and that's plenty of time. De Goey was one out with Scully behind that play, so there's a fair bit of separation between Yo, who was our spare player, and De Goey and Schofield, so that would have been a very interesting passage of play out of that smother happened.
They've got a brand new stadium, a big one, and they're going to put a big flag up there in a moment because the Eagle has landed. They're the premiers in 2018.
Yeah, a bit of disbelief. Yep. Like, what are we doing here? I was thinking, how did we get to this phase? We're a pretty humble group, our coaching group and our players, and to do what we did, I thought that was a pretty special time.
I can't be proud of. It's not just you blokes, you know that. I mean, your heart bleeds for the boys who missed out. It's the first thing I think of.
Yeah, well, it's a squad mentality. I mean, it's one of our catch cries throughout the year that, when we lose players, we want to bring someone in who can play their role. And then you look across and you see, Nick and Eric McKenzie missed the whole season. No one really remembers the fact that he was on our list, and he's a BNF winner 3 years before that. And and Shepherd and Gaff and obviously Nick. So those guys you really feel for, and then a couple of young guys who are emergencies, with Jacko Nelson missing out as well. So Oscar Allen coming through. So that was you felt for those guys. They weren't part of it, but it was a squad. It was a squad effort.
Fun. Anything you want to say? Nah, maybe it's got one thing to do. It's all about actions, boys. Not about words. It's about actions. That's what we want to do.
And on a serious note, we've done everything right this year, the little things. So let's finish off. The change room out there's filthy. So a couple of blokes, let's pick up the bottles. A few blokes, let's just go finish the change rooms off.
I didn't go out. We went to the after party or whatever it was. I was at the Crown, and then I went back to a hotel with my wife and had a glass of red and watched the replay, and then went to bed.
Could you fall asleep very easily?
Not really, but I knew it was going to be a big couple of days, and it was a big couple of days after it. So. The party was back in Perth, that's for sure.
The Perth Fireys have decided to give us a water cannon salute on arrival. So as we turn onto the tarmac, we'll be showered with water.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, I can't remember it really. It was hot. My family's in the crowd somewhere. But yeah, the support that we had when we came back was just unbelievable. And I think because the game was what it was. And yeah, so we definitely had some good support when we got back.
Put your hands together for the West Coast Eagles.
I think we're still hungry. Yeah, I think last year was obviously disappointing. It just shows you probably how much adversity we had to work through. It's not, you can't take it for granted. You can't just assume you're just going to win every week and keep rolling on because we've got some talent. So yeah, there's a special type of resilience in our group that you need to have to go all the way. So we're always striving for that.
That's the exciting part for the future as well. Like, it was a great year in 2018 and the ultimate sort of came true, but yeah, knowing that we were able to do it with such a young group still and plenty of boys filtering through the side that'll be great players in their own right in years to come, I think that's massive for the future of the club too. It's pretty exciting.